Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Today we're returning to Oxygen Not Included, but not the same Oxygen Not Included. This is my base that I've been working on kind of privately, solo, of an Oceania world. And we're going to kind of just look at this a little bit and look at some of the differences between this one and the base that I've been streaming for the last several weeks, and then we'll jump into that game and continue that one. Hey Mushi, yeah, early. It's Saturday. I can stream in the afternoons on Saturday sometimes, so that works easily for me. And Phasian, see, that's what happens. If you had some eggs in the fridge, you'd be all set, ready to go. Be able to just prop your phone up in the kitchen and go to town. All right, so if you haven't seen an Oceania world before, it's literally an ocean. Like, there are these giant deposits of salt water almost through the entire map. Let me think. If I switch to, can I switch to? Yeah, kind of. Not really. There's not really an overlay that can really show that well, but you can see the sort of pinkish and grayish stuff that's almost every biome in this game, and that's all the ocean biome. That's all a giant saltwater and salt and sand and granite and sedimentary rock in most of this world. I think this was a slime biome that I had to cut out in order to feed my mushrooms. And there's an ice biome here. There's an ice biome, a few ice biomes scattered around. There's a couple more slime biomes that I can dig into. But this it's almost all ocean, which is pretty crazy. So a couple things that I'm doing on this world that I didn't really do on the other one is I was attempting to clean out some of this salt water and contain it. So I built this giant tank for salt water. Eventually I could desalinate it if I need the fresh water. So far I haven't needed it. But I was also sorting the fluids into polluted water and fresh water and brine. I'm keeping brine separate because, I don't know, reasons. There's not that much brine, so you don't have to worry about it. But brine is basically just a more dense, more salt-dense, a highly concentrated solution of salt. So it's just more salt. So when you process it through a desalinator, it gives you a lot more salt than just salt water does. The other thing with this world is there's almost no sort of free-flowing crude oil. It's almost all tied up in reservoirs, so I have to pump it all. So far, I'm just pumping one, and it's working fine. I have a small tank of crude oil here where I'm measuring the level and turning the oil well off when it reaches that level, so I'm just not overproducing or constantly producing. I think I'm doing something similar in my Terra base. I'm keeping slicksters down here because they love to eat carbon dioxide. And they do it with great relish. So I'm just pumping it down to the bottom of the base here, and I have pockets scattered around that I can eventually clean out. But for now, it's what I can is just going down there. This is kind of the same, just a water cooler. Eventually, I need to tame this cool steam vent. I haven't done it yet. This is where I'm doing something a little bit crazy. So I am running polluted water through the water sieve whenever it gets backed up. I'm heating it up here to remove the germs from it, germ overlay, using a liquid tapidizer. So I'm heating it up, and then once it's germ-free based on this germ sensor, I'm dumping it into this pond here, which is just a holding tank for hot water, before it goes into the cooler. That's just a little bit different. The inside of my base is quite a bit different because of the different shape of the sandstone biome. So I did something a little bit different here with the apartments. Instead of being like a high-rise apartment on top of the base, due to the shape of the biome, they're right here in the middle of the base. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same kind of layout. I tested this layout first here before I did it on the Terra world. A lot of things you'll see are the same because I tested a lot of them here before I moved the idea into the Terra world. I made my ladder shaft here a little too close to the inside of the base. So I end up splitting the suit docks here into two rows. And we actually already talked about doing that a little bit, I think, in the Terra world as well, because we're kind of maxed out in space on there. But I'm doing that here, and then the dupes just go through whichever one has empty suits or empty suit docks available to which direction they're heading. These two tanks here, one is a tank of chlorine that keeps this room full. The other is a tank of hydrogen, I think. Nope, wrong one. There we go. No, a tank of natural gas for the gas range. Lettuce farm, mushroom farm, a thimbleweed farm. The thimbleweed farm was actually too cold here, so instead of moving it again, I just put some space heaters in with the thermal sensor controlling them to keep the room at 30 degrees. The thimbleweeds need at least 22, so I just brought it up to 30. I could probably stop to 25, but that's okay. It ran for quite a long time. So this is one thing that I'm going to do eventually on the Terra world if this thing works out well. But this is my storage room here, which you can see there's a ton of stuff stored here. I have like megatons of things like granite and sedimentary rock because of all of this ocean. So I have tons of granite, tons of sedimentary rock, and actually igneous was something that I've struggled off and on with finding because it's only really findable in, I think, the slime biomes. Yeah, so you can see I've excavated out large parts of this slime biome already because I was after the igneous rock so bad. Now I have 100 tons of it, but who's counting? So one of the things I'm doing here, though, is I am... the duplicants drop off certain materials here. Surplus of certain materials here. It gets put into this conveyor loader, which then gets put onto this conveyor belt and brought into this room. This room can be locked, and then the dupes won't go in here and try to sweep the stuff up, but it's basically just dumping everything on the floor in this one spot. And then the auto sweepers sort it into these other conveyor loaders that are resource specific. So like this one's only for granite. It will only store 1,000 kilograms of granite, and then there's granite along its conveyor belt and into its conveyor receptacle where these sweepers store it here. So the point here is I only have one bin for each of these materials. Things like, I think this was copper ore or gold amalgam, iron ore, lead, sandstone. The higher, I'm just working from the top down too, but the higher quantities, anything near or over 20 tons, is eventually going to get its own dedicated storage bin, and that'll let me do away with all of these mixed storage bins and also the quantity of mixed bins, and store most of the garbage in here in a pile and then sort it out into these loaders, run them to these receptacles, and fill these individualized bins. So I'm kind of in the middle of this project right now. And if this works out well, I plan to do this on the Terra world as well, because I think it's an interesting idea. The biggest problem is you need so much space to rail all this stuff into a relatively small space of storage bins. So this was kind of my attempt at it, and I might make tweaks on this later. And yeah, this is, what are we at? 1,200 cycles tomorrow, so that's pretty good. Otherwise, the inside of my base, you will recognize if you've watched my Terra world. It's not all that different. I do have all the food. Oh, and I have 4.4 million kcals of food, half of which is mushroom wraps. The mushroom farm and the lettuce farms just went insane for quite a while. And my chef went insane for quite a while and filled up all of these refrigerators here. And the refrigerators are not powered because they are in carbon dioxide, so I don't have to worry about that. A decent supply of fresh water, a fair supply of polluted water. These Paku just came in a few cycles ago from the printer, so they I just opened up the floor here and let them drop through and into this pool. If I have any algae, it'll go in here and feed them. There's a little bit in there, and they'll poop out. What do they poop out? Polluted dirt, which will go to feed. Where are they at? Which will go to feed the poke shells, because they eat polluted dirt and rot piles. So that's them. I've replaced all my ladders with plastic because the dupes can climb it faster. This is a hydrogen tank. This makes sure that these rooms stay full because they tend to leak a little bit now that you can't seal them off because the Wheezewort requires phosphate fertilization, so you have to have access in here. And the hydrogen tends to leak out a little bit, which is why there's a bunch of hydrogen here, and this one is flowing into here. So and then this, I'm kind of filtering through this block of water here and trying to filter it out, and then I see that I let a block of salt water get in there. Oops. So we'll mop that up, and that'll come right out of there, no problem. I was just trying to desalinate the salt water that was in here, get rid of the polluted water that's in here, and get this all to be just this fresh water so that I can use it later. For right now, it just serves as a cooling pond for any glass that I need to make. This also should look familiar because I tested it here first. This is my smelter cooler. So, of course, we smelt metals here, and then the heat from the smelting process goes here to make electricity. And when I'm smelting steel, this is power positive, same as when we're doing it on the Terra world. Let's see, we're gathering petroleum gas here for power. We're gathering chlorine here for basically nothing. We're gathering hydrogen here for power. And it's also, I just recently set it up so that it'll pipe up here, which we'll get to in a second. Here is the molecular forge, which is making things like insulation and supercoolant, which we'll also get to in a second. And then, of course, the Oxalite refinery, which we're doing on the Terra world. And here's my other natural gas geyser, which we're collecting for power as well, burned here. So that is that. We have 3 rockets. We're out to the 40,000 kilometer line right now, which requires 2 petroleum fuel tanks because it requires a little over 1,200 petroleum in order to fly that far. You can have up to 3 fuel tanks on a rocket, as well as 1 oxalite tank. The other 2 rockets are just cargo rockets, so I have 1 duplicate who's almost constantly gone on this rocket. Right now doing combined research and resource gathering. And another duplicate that kind of switches back and forth between these 2, gathering either metals and fullerene especially, or gathering diamond and coal and stuff, as well as specifically the isoresin. Now that we have this carbon asteroid, I probably will discontinue using this one after the next mission or so, maybe. We'll see. But that's pretty much the end of that. But we're getting very close now to being able to produce liquid hydrogen, and we already are producing liquid oxygen. So what I've done here, and we're going to do this very soon on the Terra world, is I have a loop filled with supercoolant. The supercoolant has the properties of... let's see, can I get into it? No, let's just do it here. This is my tank of supercoolant right here. So supercoolant doesn't freeze until basically absolute zero. So you can use it to cool basically any gas into liquid. Because as you can see, it turns into gas though at 436 degrees Celsius. So you have to be careful with actually putting in stuff that's too hot, because it will evaporate, and it's not cheap to come by. So here we have, let's see, 334 kilograms times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever that is, almost 4,000 kilograms of liquid oxygen here, and more is constantly being made. If we look at just the gases here, you can see this is at vacuum, and the oxygen only stays gaseous for such a brief amount of time here before it's immediately turned into a liquid and settles to the bottom. So that's what's going on here. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing very soon here with hydrogen. As soon as I get this pipe finished, which it might already be, and get this sealed off and get it started, we'll get that cooled down to like minus 270 or something ridiculous like that. Let's find some hydrogen here. 252, and I think so hydrogen has a very volatile liquid range. So I'll probably cool it down to around 255 or so. We'll have to kind of play with that temperature a little bit. But we're going to do this also kind of soon in the Terra world that I'm streaming as well. So because this is such a tight range, you definitely need the supercoolant, of course. But because it's such a tight range, you have to really be very careful, and you have to be using insulation as your insulation for the pipes as well that take it to the rocket. So I have this entire room is surrounded by insulation. The above rooms are ceramic. And this room was started out as ceramic, and I'm making it into insulation as I can make the insulation slowly. We have a little pool of petroleum here because supercoolant requires petroleum to make. And so does viscogel. I haven't actually used any viscogel yet, but I do have a bottle of it sitting here, and I eventually do plan on using it. So that's that, and we just hit cycle 1200. Make sure I don't have a rocket coming back anytime soon. Okay, I don't. Good. So that's kind of an overview of what I'm working on here. This is just a little bit ahead now, technologically, from the Terra world, even though it took me almost twice as long to get there, just because I had to kind of circumnavigate some of these giant pools. You can see, like, I drilled on a weird angle here to get up here for some reason. I can't remember. I think I was trying to get somewhere, or maybe just exploring, and I kind of hit a dead end here, because, like, sand will collapse on you if you dig underneath it. So you have to be really careful when digging through an Oceano world, because the sand will collapse and cause the salt water to collapse on top of you, and there's just so much salt water that it's very tough to dig through. But it was a good challenge, and it was fun to do. All right, so unless anyone has any questions about it, I will switch over to the Galactic Abyss Terra world and go from there. And do printables. All right, go ahead and save this. Nothing really changed, but maybe some stuff progressed or whatever automatically as I was talking and orientating everyone on it. And let's load up the Galactic Abyss. So in Galactic Abyss, we were working on a shove-vole farm. And we were also dealing with issues with heat and oxygen production, which I think we finally fixed the oxygen production issue, which was simply just not enough water going to the electrolyzers. So hopefully we fixed that one, and we can move on now to regular projects, including the shove-vole farm, and maybe eventually getting into some of these other projects that I've been working on that I just showed you on this Oceano world. I do also have a very early game Rime, which is the frozen world, but it's not anywhere near that much to show off at this point. So we'll have to save that maybe for much later. It's kind of my, if I don't feel like working on the Oceano world for a while in my free time, and it's not streaming time to work on Terra, then I work on Rime and see what the difference is in dealing with extreme cold and how to keep everything warm, which is the tough part, is designing around space heaters and things like that. I may also, after I finish this one, Rime might just be the next world that I stream, so we might just spend time on that. But with Terra here, I plan on going all the way to the very last planet, or not the planet, but the very last object in space, which is I don't know, whatever it's called, like a dimensional tear or something like that, to escape this craziness that is the oxygen not included asteroid or moon or whatever whatever it is that this body is that we're on, which may or may not be a piece of the Earth or a planet. Who knows? The story doesn't really reveal exactly. It just kind of hints at what might be. All right, this takes a minute to load up a new game. I'm not sure why. It seemed like everything else got faster except for loading a new game. And it seems to be loading a new game when also like closing another one. Like it's just much more time spent when it's not the game you're opening the game with, the save you're opening the game with, or just closing the game with. All right, here we are. Let's unpause so that everything can clear the errors here. Let's just have a look around. I haven't opened this today, so I'm kind of a little blind as of the end of the last stream. I usually open up the game and take a little bit of look around and see what I might need to work on. Oh yes, I remember we were pumping this water out of here, and it's going, if it needs to be filtered before it gets used as water for the making of crude oil. We're having power issues. We need to build more solar. That's what we were kind of also trying to work on. Oxygen is still trying to catch up. We only have 4 suits that are unusable right now. We did have like 6, I think, at one point last stream, which was pretty bad. And now we just have one constant oxygen room, so powered oxygen room pumping into the suits constantly, and this one gets, it depends on how full the base is. The base is still fairly low pressure. It looks like, yeah, pretty low. So we need to deal with that still. Oh, and I disconnected this and forgot all about it. So I need to rerun this way. I don't know why it started doing that in the last several versions, but it did. Where it doesn't show the tools at all anymore. Alright, make sure I get this in the right direction. There we go. And you guys can build that up. So, Moochie, if you haven't seen this base yet, it's kind of the same kinds of things. Like we're not far behind it technologically, even though we're 500 and some odd cycles behind. And actually, this one was ahead. I started with this one. Rebuild that. I see that I took it apart. But I've been doing some. I managed to get past where we were in the stream here, and work toward some additional stuff on that Oceania world that we haven't gotten to yet in the stream. So I'm working toward it. And we need more steel. So let's start this guy up. Iron. We have plenty of iron. Good. Let's do like 50 steel. We'll always need it, so we can just do it. So I have an auto sweeper here that takes the iron out of this storage bin, as well as the lime and refined carbons out of these bins, and deposits the steel in here when it's done being made here at the refinery. So the dupes don't have to restock the refinery, they just have to keep those bins stocked. Eventually I can do, if we do the sorted storage, I can run conveyor belts up here and drop off those items here in the storage automatically, so the dupes don't have to bring it up here. Alright, so we're making steel, and it's, of course, heating up the petroleum, which is used as the coolant. And that is causing this this steam turbine to kick on. So as this heats up, this will heat up, and eventually, if this runs long enough, these will eventually be producing 100% of their power, which means 1,700 watts together. This only consumes 1,200, so this is 500 watts power positive, which is awesome. And great when we can't yet. Yeah, you guys can't leave yet because the suit docks are still not filling or full. What we have here, we could use another Mossy Drecklet. We have those shove volt eggs. So let's get up here maybe. Did we launch any rockets? No, we hadn't. So let's launch the rockets first. Rockets are over here in this world. And let's see, who's going to go on a rocket? Moochie, you're not one of my characters yet, so you can't get to go just yet. But let's look maybe at Phasian's here. He can go on a rocket trip. Well, I guess we'll wait now until the next day, because they probably won't come to the rockets now that it's end of shift. One of the things that I did in my Terra world, or my Oceania world, yeah. So I've been naming as I've added characters, and I've been naming them after frequent chatters, because when I started this game, I didn't have any. I wasn't Twitch affiliate yet, and I didn't have anything set up for taking donations. So I was just going by frequent chats, and so a lot of the people you see in this base were all people who were chatting frequently, especially a couple, several weeks ago when I first started this map. So if and when I add new characters, I'll go back to that list and add anybody who may have chatted more frequently, more recently. So we have the same kind of thing here. I actually made this a little bit bigger, just so that we could manage more heat. We could delete more heat with the steam turbines. I didn't do any of the math to figure out exactly how much heat the steam turbines would need to absorb, partially because I wasn't sure how much heat was going to be coming into this room. Hey, Sydney, welcome to the stream. Yes, Phasian is, I think, by far #1 on the chat list. Yeah, by like a factor of 3. Oh, good stuff. But I appreciate the attendance and participation. It has been fun. So, as we were building this out, I built this again all out of ceramic, and I will replace all of this with insulation. We have the ability to make some insulation. Actually, quite a bit of insulation. Let's just start making some. Make that a 6, just so that they kind of do it with a little bit of priority. They're not going to be able to do a whole lot, though, until we get these suits full. I see we're just barely starting to fill this 4th one. The other option is to build another oxygen room and start producing more oxygen. This should be enough, though, for these number of suits. It got so bad because we were having such problems with the water supply, and without realizing it. So now our base's water here is actually only used for making coffee. And this is actually deprecated here and not used anymore. Otherwise, this is unused water. So as we bring more, as it gets added here, it'll just keep getting added. You did, and you got to do research too, Sydney. That was the most important thing you did, was the research. You are still the primary researcher. Priorities. Yeah, too many tumbleweeds and Sydney. And Sydney has 2 arrows, so... Well, so does too many tumbleweeds. But too many tumbleweeds was added much later in the playthrough. So, Sydney was our primary researcher, and still is when we need to... When we have brought back research from space. We can't really take another duplicate right now. We don't have a room for them, so we're going to pass on that. You got the big brains, yes. Alright, so let's see. We're going to send Lana and Phasian. I forgot back when the cycle started. Yeah, Lana might be trapped in the base. Yeah. Alright, we definitely got to get more air, more oxygen. Yep, ditch digger to astronaut. Well, you were one of the first 3, I think, so... So, yeah. I almost just broke my glass on my microphone boom. That would have been good. Alright. Yeah, Lana still can't reach this one. Okay. And there's data banks here for researching. Do we not have... We don't have research focus selected. That's why they're not researching. Sydney's not researching. Let's research cargo. Rags to spacesuit, yes. Nice. All right, Phasian has embarked upon his rocket here. One of the things that I had set up in my Oceana world was a capacity for four rockets. This one we only have room for 3 with the way I have it laid out. We could do more, but for right now. No, mine's wood. I have a ceramic, like one of those, whatever they're called, those stone. Actually, they're stone, not ceramic, but those stone cup holders. But I literally banged my. All right, Moochie, thanks for stopping by. If you make it back, I'll probably be around for about another hour and a half or so, I think. I banged it on the metal arm of my microphone boom, and that was fun. All right, so Lana is trapped in the base and now has gone to sleep. Oh boy, so we definitely have to deal with that oxygen issue. I wonder if I can borrow. I mean, because we are producing an awful lot of extra oxygen here. Can I borrow some of this to go to the base? Go to the... Yeah, let's try that. Let's do this. And bridge this on here. So split it evenly, which I think is okay. See if we can get this done relatively fast. We have a problem here. Fertilization now. So we mustn't have any slime dug out. Organic. Yeah, slime is completely dead. So we can resolve that. We have plenty of lettuce, but no mushrooms. So yeah, we need to resolve that. Take some of this out. Do like a stepped kind of method here. Just because of this hole, I want to be careful how I dig around it. And that way we can fertilize these mushrooms. Is there a heat issue down here too, or just the mushroom? Or just the fertilization? Looks like just the fertilization. The insulated tile wall we put in a couple of streams ago seems to be helping matters, which is good. Alright. So we now have 4 soup docks that... Or the 4th soup dock now has oxygen in it. So we can try to get Lana out of the base now. And into the rocket. The way that I have this lined up, any oxygen that comes from there is going to go into these first 4 soup docks first. So that'll be good. But it's prioritized so that this one is first, and then this one is second, and then this one is third. Which is good because this one's is being stolen from the oxalite, so I don't want it to stay that way for too long. Because we need the oxalite to make things go boom. Why are you not picking up this little piece of oxalite here and putting it into the storage that needs 0.4 kilograms? Alright, did Lana come out here? She did. Excellent. Let's open the doors. Crack the gantries. So one of the things I recently changed in my Terra world to improve my space biome design is I got rid of a lot of these conductive wires that were powering things like the robominers. And instead I just ran a heavy watt wire off the main line across the miners. And that works fine because these aren't doors. Doors are really the only thing that you have to use conductive wire for, other than for decoration purposes. The conductive wire does not have a decor hit, but the heavy watt wire and the heavy watt conductive wire both do. So by using that, you have a decor hit, but they shouldn't spend a whole lot of time up here in space anyway. So it should be okay. And so I may do the same thing here because we do have a lot of these conductive wires that are being kind of unnecessarily used when I could use the heavy wire instead. And that would reduce the need for all of these conductive wire circuits going up here into space. Because we could do away with all 5 of these connections and extend this power line much further this way if we had it. If we had the solid wire or the heavy wire in there. So I probably will do that at some point. But it's not a huge deal right now. I just needed to do it, which I forgot to show. I started putting sweepers and conveyor loaders here in the space biome to try and gather up some of this regolith and other material so that it could be brought in to feed the critters, the shove voles. These guys. What's his body temperature, by the way? Yeah. Okay, so I think we were going to put the shove vole farm somewhere down in here. It doesn't have to be at space exposure, but it's... Or we're going to put it over here. I think we're going to put it over here, actually. Underneath the solar panels that we put out here. That's where we're going to put it. So the solar panels go at this level right here. Anywhere below this level should be fine. Okay. Yeah, they're at that level. Build, yes we can. And 1 bunker tile over here to be the 4th of these 3 that are way over here. The width of the map is, I think it's exactly 256 tiles. So that's 64 bunker doors, if you line it up correctly. Which I didn't do. Alright, so how much glass do we have? Because we need more power. And the power is, at this point, kind of more important even than the shove vole farm for the meat. We can keep digging this stuff out here. We'll be able to get across this. Power. Solar. Yeah, we need to make more glass. Let's go find our glass forge, which is right here. And let's make like 20 more glass. Making that at a 6, so that should be fine. It looks like we have made some insulation. We have run out of iso resin though. So we'll have to wait till more of that comes back from space. And I think that's on... Ah, here it is. It's on this asteroid that I think Phasian's headed for. So that'll be good. The other thing that I want to look for is fullerene, which we did have some at this one. So we might build our 3rd rocket just to be a cargo rocket and go in that direction. Did we pick up and store? I think we did do this. Did we store down in the oil biome? That one. Yes, we did. We're storing methane, crude oil, and carbon dioxide solids down here in the oil biome. So it eventually will heat up and produce those gases and liquids. Eventually. Ooh, a spore kid seed. That's not good. Spore kids are a bad thing. Actually, in fact, I might want to build a tiny small room and have the duplicates drop it off there and then lock that room. Because if I ever accidentally get a pip and the pip plants the spore kid seed, the spores from the spore kid will like basically kill your duplicants. And the only cure is a serum vial, which needs sun nymph eggs to make. So unless you're farming sun nymphs or what's the basic one called? Shine bugs. You can't really get sun nymph eggs very easily unless the printer randomly prints them. And then your duplicates just all die and there's nothing you can do about it. Yes. Yeah, let's see. A spore kid, they host a particularly nasty strain of brain fungus. And the only cure is that serum vial. I had read that at one point a while back, and it is true. So let's just build a tiny little room here with a mechanical airlock and a storage bin. Probably not Mavic rock. Probably not igneous either. We'll do that. We don't need obsidian tile either. Let's use just granite tiles. And we build that, and we'll make that storage bin collect the spore kid seed, and then we'll lock the door. So if we wanted to build our third rocket, we could. I want to look at too. So remember we set this up where this loop for all the petroleum here, yeah, this cooling loop, it doesn't actually do a very good job of cooling these things. So I'm actually going to bypass this loop and let it drain out eventually here. And then we'll just run it across here. It does do a good job, though, of keeping these obsidian tiles cool. So we're gonna keep this part of it, but the rest of this, it doesn't really do that good of a job. So, yeah, we'll do that soon as well. In the meantime, let's get this ready to dig out. Dig this all the way down. I think there'll be another ladder here, and then this should be 11. No, it's not. Wait a minute. 11? How did I misalign that? That's not good. Well, these two rockets can be closer together. It'll be okay. They don't really need all this space that I've been giving them. I've just been giving them extra space because I'm a nice guy. They need 5, 6, 7, I think. Some of the extra spaces for the gantries, which we can make do over here for that. Looks like we're going to need a ladder perhaps right here. So that. Do we have enough to make some decent amount of solar panels? Not yet. This goes... Actually, no, we should be building them over here where we're already building the infrastructure for it. Yes, let's do that instead. This one. Where are we at? 840. Come back down with that. Clear that out and keep building 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I miscount. Oh, I didn't. That's right. Okay. And a couple ladders here. And some heavy wire here. And actually, this can just go all the way over because we'll go that way eventually anyway. Construction. Do that. Alright, so we are on 5.5 day trips. Seeds. Spore kid seed. There. High priority. Someone come and sweep this. And then we can get the door locked. Wait a minute, were you making a joke about spore kids spelled that way, or did you just spell it wrong? It's hard to tell sometimes. Good. Okay, put that in there, lock of the door. Printables. Glass, we can use the glass. It's a good typo, though, I like it. dig that much across as well. Actually, we should just dig it down here. Like that. Yeah, I played it when it first came out and was sorely disappointed with how fast the first 3 or so portions of the game went and how boring the space portion was. Like, completely just let down by how boring that was. Yeah. Yeah, basically it was fun to create the new, like, amoeba-looking life form, and then it was fun to do the sort of tribal life form, and then the intelligent life form, and you guys got yourself stuck, because I kind of goofed that one up. Let's do this. Look at that. Okay, dig away, guys. Sorry about that. Rescue me. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, the first 3 ages were... It was 4 ages, right? Those 3 and then the space age. Those first 3 ages were fun. But too short. And then the 4th age was boring and too long. So that'll be the end of... Right here will be the end of the, solar panels. I think I'll probably put another drill down here at the end, just to keep it... Actually, stuff won't fall there, so I don't care. Yep, that'll be the end. Unfortunately, we have those 3 tiles wasted. In a future game, like I did in Oceania, I will find the appropriate alignment so that I can get even numbers of bunker doors. But I goofed that up. Sorry about that. Alright, you guys gonna build this or what? Road stories. Okay, good. I don't see much idle complaining anymore, because we don't have any. Nice. Okay. So I think we can probably break this connection right here. We can let the base consume this. We can see how this works, but we'll let the rest of this stuff go back to making oxalite. It might be. It's been a decade. How long has it been since that game came out? More than a decade. And it's just, I don't know. I played it for, I don't know, a couple of dozen hours maybe, making different creatures and stuff, and got bored every time when I got to space. You shouldn't be still making these. Let's remove that egg. We already have 7. We need the other kinds here. And you notice I have a much smaller storage here in Terra than I did in Oceania, and that's because of all the digging I had to do that wasn't in a straight line to get to anything. So I dug out a lot of granite, a lot of sedimentary rock, a lot of salt that I didn't have to dig out in this world until I needed it anyway. All the crude oil. Much. Okay. Where's our rockets at? 1.9. We are at 960 watts. Let's grab the automation wire and keep going with that. No, I should stop here for now. And conductive wire will go there as well. Yeah. And I've never been that much of a big fan of 4X games anyway. I guess to the extent that Civ is a 4X game. But that's about it. And generally speaking, most of them I'm not a big fan of. At a certain point, it becomes too much like work and not enough like fun for me. So then I move on and play something else. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that, but yeah, you could radically change the species without any penalty when you change the ages. Like all of a sudden you could go from looking one way to looking radically different and the game just didn't care. And that's true, that was unfortunate. The other thing that I wish I would have done in this world that I did do in Oceania was I wish I would have built the steel doors a bit closer to space here, like let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like right about there, like 4 blocks below space, because that gives you a lot more room to build down here that I don't have. So there's just a lot of things that I learned since I started this game that I wish I would have done differently. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, you'd be like the Vulcans then, I guess. Because the Vulcans gave up their carnivory. It went complete vegetarian. But they did that in the probably in the civilized age. I think there were some things you could change between certain stages and some things you couldn't. Kind of an odd combination of restrictions that some of them seemed kind of arbitrary. Alright, so let's look at the shovel farm here. Here. That's where the bottom of the solar panels will be. Then right here at just one tile above is where I'll probably build the top of the shovel farm. This needs to be built out of obsidian. Let's go over a little way here. Let me see. At least a ladder here. Like that, maybe. Yep. That's EA at work again. Make that out of gold amalgam. Dig away in there. Put our ladder in there. Why did you not build the last piece of ladder? Thank you. Oh, look, we have a little baby shovel here, too. And I didn't click him fast enough, so he ran away. Now I want to dig some of this hot regolith away from this as well. Remember, how many tiles do I need inside this thing? 14 total. 14. So this would be the end of the inside. We have a wall here. And I'll dig a couple of tiles away. Just to chase away the heat. A little bit. I think my favorite sim game was Sim Ant. No, maybe Sim Farm. One of those. Those are all really high. I mean, I played a ton of SimCity 2000, but I would say either Sim Farm or Sim Ant were my favorites. .8 cycles. Okay, let's go open some doors here. We'll let Phasian land. You guys are still building that stuff. Keep digging. Maybe we'll be able to trap accidentally one of the shove voles automatically. Probably not, but maybe. Look, there's some meat. Meat. I never played the original SimCity that much. I didn't like it. I only tried SimCity 2000, I think, because I got like, because I'm a nerd. I was playing like, or I was buying a subscription to like PC Gamer or one of those magazines, and a demo came, and I was like, this game's totally different. Like, I enjoy this one. It was kind of an odd thing, and I did play 3000. I didn't like 4000 or 4 or whatever it was. That one was totally not good. Must have been after EA got their claws into it or something. I don't know. Let's see. Building all the stuff. And a sweeper. Doesn't really matter which angle it's pointed at. That's fine. You, and you. Another sweeper right about here. And actually this needs to be a metal tile, and we need to have a door up here too. Rotate. And then a metal mesh tile is steel. And then we need a couple of conveyor loaders. Uh-oh, we got a meteor shower incoming. How far are you away, Phasian? I don't even remember. I just remember not liking it. Phasian is 0.3 cycles away still. Dang it. Just deconstruct that one. I hate it when the meteor showers are mistimed. There's nothing you can do about it but let everything get destroyed. Like that. The meteor runs straight down your ladder. Destroys the entire thing. Dang. Alright. And of course the meteor shower ended in enough time that I would have been fine. Ugh. I hate it when that happens. And there's no choice either. You either launch the you either let the rocket come back through the doors and break the doors, or you take the damage from the meteor. And I don't know which is worse. I know, you can't build some stuff yet because you haven't finished building the other stuff yet. Okay, this will be 10 shovels and vol pups. Yeah. Yeah, they did change. I am remembering now that they did change the sort of gameplay. I'm going to word it, the gameplay mechanics. Then. Alright, so Phasian, go use the bathroom. And we'll get somebody else loaded up on this rocket, I think. Oh boy. We did some damage. There must be this stuff that's here melting. Oh well. From the heat. New printables. Could use the copper. Can always use copper. Alright, deconstruct that now. It's been so long since I even looked at SimCity 4 that I'm completely at a blank for how it worked, why it worked, if it worked, those kinds of things. There we go. Build, build, build. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a bunch of regolith, which we have a bunch of it here, and we're going to drop it into this room where we capture these shovels. And we feed them tons of regolith. Yeah, I own it. It's here in a box someplace still, but I haven't played it since whatever, shortly after it came out. Might not be a bad idea to dig this down a little bit more, because once we get past the 30,000s, we're gonna have to. Oh, let's wait on that one. We're gonna have to make the rockets taller again, so it wouldn't hurt to dig this out and build a new rocket in here, because I think I plan on digging it all the way down to like this level, because we'll need 2 more blocks of 5 for 2 more fuel tanks, and then whatever cargo we can carry. So we can go down at least 10 more tiles. Almost closed in. So what these 2 sweepers are going to do is they're going to pick up eggs and meat and drop them into here, because they overlap with that. And those eggs and meat can be carried off to wherever we want. So we can carry the eggs off to a larger ranch where we just let them hatch and use them as breeding stock sort of thing for this. And the meat could get belted all the way or conveyed all the way to the kitchen. I'll probably just dump it in a loader to start with, or a receptacle, and let the dupes pick it up, because the kitchen's way over here, so that'd be quite a haul for a conveyor at this point. But we can always make more barbecue, so. And Calidorn's in here making. Why are you not making surf and turf? Should be making surf and turf out of it if we can. We have plenty of Paku still alive down here. That's good. And Gulpfish and whoever else. There's a couple of different, maybe not. Maybe they're all Paku. What broke? Looks like we broke our power. We got junk melting. That's fun. Okay, what melted? That's right, this melts because this is iron ore. It can melt. This is magma, though. Wonder what melted to make the magma. That was a fuel drain there. I don't know. Alright, let's let Sydney take a ride. don't think Peps has been to space yet. Does Peps have the advantage here? Does Sydney have? Yes. Does Peps have? Peps does not. Peps really can't. We could send... I don't want to send Tumbleweeds as well as Sydney, because then there'd be no research going on. Send your own. That would work. Let's just send some different people. Okay, there's power fixed. Delete those. Oh wait, don't delete that yet. Too fast. Okay. Remove this. Launch this. Dang it. Okay, good. I'm having all kinds of problems here today. There. Close the doors. Put those up for repair. There's a repair that's needed there and there. Those, this one, that one. Damage to a pipe. Some stuff there. Alright, come on, doors. Close already. Will ya? Okay, good. Now we're secure again. Well, at least they'll repair all that stuff while the rockets are gone. So, we have... This is our 4th trip to each one. So, we're almost done with the research component. And then we just need to do the... we can keep sending them to gather materials if we want to. Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah, from Armageddon. We can also continue moving on to these. Ooh, this is an artificial satellite. Cool. It's got steel and copper and glass. I haven't seen one of those yet. And then a rocky asteroid, which we probably won't, unless there's some good stuff here, probably won't keep visiting that. But this is actually a good one to keep visiting. So I think what we should probably do is look at how much fuel we need to have to go 40,000. That's the, or wait, 30,000, sorry, 30,000. That's 922. So we need more than one tank to send our research and cargo rocket here. So I think we'll do a rebuild of or a new build of a rocket here next to in the 3rd slot here, and then just take the research module out of these, or at least out of one of these, and only make it a cargo run. You bring back a ton, 1,000 kilograms, and it's in the percentages. As far as I can tell, it's in the percentages that you see here. So you bring back 22% of a ton of methane, 26% of a ton of carbon dioxide, etc. So basically, every time I go, that means I bring back, what is that, 60 kilograms of isoresin? I think that's how it works. It seems to work that way from what I can tell. Which is fine, because we need plenty of isoresin here. We still haven't gotten any fullerene. Yeah, so we definitely need to send, because we stopped sending this rocket here after we got the research done. We never got any fullerene out of it. So we definitely need to send a cargo rocket here. So I think maybe we'll switch after these 2 asteroids are done and have 1 research cargo rocket and 2 just plain cargo rockets, and go from there. Means I should probably move this maybe, or put another one in. I'll figure it out. We'll get there when we get there. How goes the shovels? Okay, now we just need power over here, which is easy enough to accomplish. I'm going to run the power across this line here. Because this is where the solar panels are going to be anyway, so we might as well. Double checking. Yes, this is where the solar panels are anyway. I need to put in a conductive bridge here so that we can jump over that and connect that up. And so then here, I could run the power into here. I would need to use a... No. I would need to use a heavy watt bridge that's made out of refined metal because the volts can chew through anything that's not. This might just be the best option. Alternatively, I could put like a transformer in here and just power all this stuff on a transformer. That might actually be... That's probably the safer option. Let's do that instead. Alright, so we'll put this here. And heavy watt wire here. Conductive wire can go in and across. Like that. Power all that stuff. And we'll need to have some ladders here. Scattered. And one more. I think. Anyway. Why are you damaged, Emiden? Holy cow, they're still working on fixing all this stuff. Oh, that's where some of that magma came from. We lost a couple of ladders. They're obsidian ladders, too. Dang. Okay, and how is this doing? Good. Good, 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 good. Wait, where are we at? Power-wise, 1080. 1, 2, 3 is plenty. We have plenty of room for that. And then automation wire. Construction only. Let's do those. Okay. Almost done repairing. Good. Actually, do all that. We can do this much. And we can do that much. At least. Yeah, I can't go too low without deconstructing this ATN, which we haven't even used at this point anyway. There's actually a reasonable amount of steam in here. Six times 4,000. That's 24 kilograms of steam. It's not a lot, but surprising amounts, I guess. There's a lot of voles over here. Wow. Look at all those guys. Well, the dupes will try and catch them. Best they can, anyway. There's 5 of them. They breed like rabbits. Or, I guess, like rats, maybe? So, yeah. This is all just part of the story. It's interesting to read, but it can take a while to read through. Just for fun to dig up there since the elevator doesn't work. I'm so glad the dupes can walk over the open bunker doors now. In earlier versions, they weren't able to step over that, which is why I put all those ladders in before connecting everything up. Did this break because it's just... Or is this just low on power, or did the line break? Looks like it's just power issues. Dang. This door's not open all the way yet, so the solar panel's not getting all the power it needs, or all the sunlight it needs. Man, they're way down there. The other option is just to bring the eggs up here, drop them off, which we could do. That's actually not a bad idea. Let's do critter egg. Allow manual use critter egg and shovel egg. Use that at high priority to get them up here. And then I'll just drop them out of it. And for now, put a storage bin right here. Oh, you can't build on top of that. Dang it. Can't build on top of pneumatic doors, only bunker doors. Well, I didn't really build this well for having sweepers. We also need this thing finished soon. Sure, we'll take some more iron. Good, we have just enough power to finish this one up. We didn't end up needing this second power line from down there. Let's do this at a higher priority than the solar panel. That way stuff doesn't fall on it, at least. Break the solar panel. Somebody go get that shovel. Oh, you can't. Oopsie. Because they'll actually shoot their little gun a couple of tiles deep into the regolith to trap them, I think. Okay, good. That did eventually finish. We can deconstruct this piece of wire here, and then we can connect the heavy watt wire across. The other thing I should eventually probably do is put some batteries on, some more batteries on the main line here. I do have some to control the voltage, or the state, the enabled states of these machines here. But I could really store more electricity potentially from the solar than I am. Three more cycles. Okay, well, one of these guys is way out here now, so you guys could get... Why is he not flagged as high priority? Didn't I do a 9 on those? Still not 9s. I don't know. Stop moving. Now they will be. Okay. Now they're all prioritized. Who's doing the ranching? Supremacy is. Anyone else? Back up by Catherine. And that's it. Alright, well, we'll just have to wait. Did we get eggs in here? No, not yet. Oh, you need power probably first. Alright, well, let's get the power done so that we can get the eggs in here. So we have... you? 3 of them. Which is good. If we get all 5 of these voles and we have 3 eggs, that gets us to 8 of the 10 already. And the more we have, the better. Maybe I could just put a sweeper... like... here and here. At least to unload these first 4 and then keep moving it in. That could work. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, we got the gas cargo and liquid cargo containers. So, can we use that for any of these? Cargo, liquid cargo. So, this crude oil is actually liquid, so in order to get crude oil and petroleum from these two, we would need to take a liquid cargo container. So, I don't know how that affects the percentages on the solid items. Maybe it's just still relative, so it's 22% of 22 plus 26 plus, or 22 out of 48, 54, whatever that percentage is, 22 divided by 54. Maybe that's what you get as far as the methane goes. I don't know. These are all solids, and then this one has the same kind of liquid composition. I don't know how that works specifically. Alright, so let's put that sweeper in. Maybe I'll do it. I'll start with it like this. Then we'll go from there. And then I need a conveyor loader. I think the power's on the top of this thing. Yes, it is. Excellent. And then conveyor rail. To there, and then a conveyor chute to there. So what this will do is it'll unload the regolith from these containers, put it on the rail, and send it here into this station, or to this room, where if we capture our shovels in there... Ooh, we got one. Somebody come pick him up, please, before he untangles himself. Oh, there's another one there. Nice. Then they'll be trapped in this room, at least. Now, of course, it's nighttime. Yes, we got the 2 cargo containers. Now we can do cryofuel combustion, which is the hydrogen engine and the liquid oxidizer tank. Hey, Power Dymex, welcome to the stream. We're playing Oxygen Not Included. This is a Terra world spawn between the launch update kind of beta and the actual launch of the game. So it has some things you can't get now in a Terra world. But otherwise it's a Terra world. Like it has some of the modifiers you can't get now. One of the things we need to do if we're going to successfully ranch these shovels is make sure that someone is grooming all the time. So we might want someone else to be on ranching besides just Supremacy and Catherine. Maybe we can pick someone who's doing... Problem is, no one else has the skills. We'd have to give the skills to somebody. Let's see who can most afford the skills. Tumbleweeds has some skills available. Maybe he's a good bet. I'm still using mushroom wraps now, which is the grilled mushrooms mixed with the lettuce wrap. Too many tumbleweeds. Where'd he go? There he is. Let's give him 2 clicks on that, and we'll actually reduce his researching. We'll let Sydney handle it all. Most of it. Somebody pick up the shovel fast. Let me jump back down here. I'm using basically everything. Anything I can. But mushroom wraps is my primary food source. I still have a mushroom farm. And I have a lettuce farm here. Ooh, we need some more bleach stone, it looks like. So that's my primary food. But then whatever else I get. If I get stuff for surf and turf, then I make surf and turf. If I get stuff for frost burgers, then I make frost burgers. It really just depends. The shovels I'm hoping to ranch to bring in a lot more meat, which then I can make into barbecue. And then subsequently make those into more frost burgers and more surf and turf. So it really just depends on what I have available. I don't put a whole lot of effort into it. Ooh, look, we got one in there. Nice. And this one got loose. Okay. The 9 worked that time. 1, 2... Another one got loose, too. Because I only see 3 plus the 1. Oh, there he is. Let's just keep capturing. So this shovel is at a body temperature of 122 degrees, which means he's going to actually warm up. Potentially could warm up some of these buildings. And when he poops out the regolith, it'll warm up the buildings even more. Let's get these done so that we can start hauling. Hauling regolith along the conveyors. Yeah, so they can reach through quite a few spaces here to capture. Do I need to dig down so they can get to it? Yeah, unreachable. Well, we have the ladder scaffolding, so we can do that. You reachable now? Nope, one more. like that. I just set it at priority of 9 and just click the button, and eventually the dupes will go do it. It's kind of... I don't know what priority it falls under. It's probably nothing very high. Maybe toggling. Could be a toggling thing, although that's probably not it. Operating, maybe? Yeah, well, that too. Yep. A dupe has to physically go there. The thing is, I don't know which one of these categories it falls under. It could even be this one. It could fall under deliver. Who knows? So you just kind of have to let the dupes get there. It's kind of the bummer of it all. You're welcome. Alright, you haven't brought any eggs here yet? Maybe I need to have a conveyor rail hooked up, even though it's going nowhere. And 1.2. You're unreachable, I guess? Yep. Okay. It's funny, they look like kind of like pigs or something, but they can walk on the ceilings and on the walls and everything. Kind of like the Drekos in that manner, except they can also dig through stuff if you don't make it out of obsidian or refined metal. Except for doors, for some reason they can't go through the doors. They're just plain metal. I don't know how that works. But like this tile, if I had made this mesh tile out of steel, if I had made it out of gold amalgam or something instead. Did that one escape? It did. Dang it. Where are those eggs? Are they still sitting here? No, they got picked up. What have we here? Ooh, a smooth hatchling. We just lost some metal in there. Alright, what do we have? 7, 4. Yeah, let's make some more of these. And 0.8. If I open it now, there'll be another meteor shower, I'm sure. Okay, good. You're still visible. Dang it. Wrangling is such a pain. Okay, this needs to be regolith, which is filtration medium regolith. And I'll make it a 6 so that the auto sweeper, hopefully, there's definitely regolith available. Why are you not fill? Shouldn't have to be a 7. These are all 6s. You moron. Okay. So that's just gonna plop it in there. Let's actually just reduce the priority of all these to just 5s. That way they don't do too much oversweeping. Because they could come in here and re-sweep, which would be annoying. Look, chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And then it'll poop out the regolith here in a minute. And then so the reason for the 3 robominers is to make sure that the 10 voles that are in here don't put poop and block in the robo-miners. And then you're stuck. You have to send a dupe in to take care of business. Two, three. Awesome. Oh, I forgot about that. Dang it. I should have just used heavy watt wire here. Dang it. Just deconstruct it, and we'll just put the heavy watt in. No? That. Could have just done that all along. What I get? Trying to be fancy. Build that fast. But at least they're eating now. It looks like these lasers have already fired. Must have missed it. There it is. Yes, well, we need duplicate. Oh no, we need to open doors. And fast. We might break some doors here. So once this sweeper runs out of regolith in these bins, then we'll be in the same kind of position. Maybe I'll put it like this. We can at least also connect and get these three going. I don't have enough room here for them to be next to each other, so. Alright, come on. Builders, let's go. Like that. Make sure this is stable. It is a stable. Good. So, according to what I heard, 10 shovels is enough to feed like 40 duplicants. Something insane. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, good. Now we need one of these things. Like this. We have to use the heavy watt one because we need it to be made out of refined metal. No, we should make that higher. There we go. We have a bunch of copper in here, so that's good. From the destruction of the regular wires. Another egg right there. More voles moving around down here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have another one now. Must have just hatched a pup someplace. Oh, Must have came over from outer space or something, who knows? Because we have 4 of them here and 2 here, and we only were tracking 5 earlier. I see there's an egg here. Good, that's incubating pretty fast. Couple cycles and that'll be hatched. These guys live for for 100 cycles, so they'll produce us quite a bit of meat when they die. I think it's like 16 tons of meat or something insane. No, it's not that much. 1,600 kilograms, maybe. I think so. 1.6 tons. I think whatever it is, it's insane amount of meat. Ugh. Dang it. I should have made these out of steel. That should have probably been steel as well, because this is in space. And I'm loading hot regolith into the stuff. Okay, steel. No, that's tungsten steel. No, I must have just repaired it. Okay. I know you're overheating. Overheated. And these are going to overheat for a while too because these shovels are hot. They're pooping out hot regolith, so we're going to have to keep rebuilding these for a little while. Once we get all new shovels in here, hatched from eggs from in here, they'll all be like 20 degrees Celsius, and they'll never overheat. And the shovels will actually help keep the machinery cool. Oh, look, the rockets came back, and I forgot all about it. All right, you guys can go use the bathrooms. And we can close these doors before the meteor shower shows up. I think we're done over here. Yeah. We built all the solar panels we can on this side, at least until we decide to rebuild everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that'll be all right. Here, little puppy. Yep, see, it poops out a big clump of regolith, and then the miners destroy it, and then someone else eats it. Because they're gross. But that regolith that it pooped out was 120 some degrees, which is why these machines are overheating a little bit. Or can overheat a little bit. Actually not doing too bad right now. Alright, let's just make one of these out of steel. Put it in right there. High priority build on those. See, this one's actually cooled down. They start out at 45 degrees, and this one's down to 16.4 because of the cool regolith that someone pooped out. Whichever one did. One of these guys must be cooler. Maybe not. Maybe it's the one that died. Something. I don't know. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. There's 6. We have been tracking 6 for a little while. 2 more left. And then we have some eggs. What is the viability of this egg? I see you there. Why you not let me click? Whatever. That one's doing good. We have one more trip left with these guys? Yeah. Research-wise. You keep digging down here. I keep forgetting. So next room to build is another room kind of like this. Only it doesn't need as much Because all it's going to be, it's not going to pick up any eggs, and it just needs to pick up, I guess it just needs to pick up the meat if anybody dies. Because the eggs are just going to stay in there and hatch. Thank you, tumbleweeds. Okay, this got built. And it needs to be a 6 and filtration regolith. Go, gadget regolith. Oh, you are done. That's why you're not doing anything. Alright. Doors are reopening, which means that we can launch some more rockets. There. Alright. I think we'll throw Phasian back in a rocket. And maybe a Roadster. Roadster hasn't gone yet today. And it's the end of the cycle. Dang it. Let's do that. No, I don't want to sweep. I wanted to sweep up this copper that's in here, but I don't want to sweep it because I'll sweep everything else then. I think that'll work. I think it's got to hit the top square. We'll see. I can take this out too, so it'll be fine. Oh, we didn't rebuild that one yet. Okay. Build that. Kind of fast. Technically, it takes 3 conveyor rails full of regolith to feed 10 shovels. That's a lot of regolith. And it's a lot of infrastructure to set up. Although I could do a second one. Easily enough. So, if this one is meat... food? Cooking ingredient? There it is. No. Edible? Meat. Yep. Doesn't need to be very high. And this is eggs. Critter eggs. But I don't want... Actually, I don't want to take these out yet because I don't have the other room built. I'd rather they stay in here and hatch. And just go towards... the rate of good here. How many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be all the ones we were tracking. Looks like it. Awesome. Okay, did you guys load in your rockets? No, because we didn't pick you yet. Phasian, go back out. Roadster, go out. No. Well, you could have kept digging. Right. Hopefully, Ebenen gets it all dug out so it doesn't fall. Gonna be close. A high bill cipher. I don't know what you're getting at there. Which I guess is the point. Oh, there's ladder there already. Ha! Okay. I have tons and tons of regolith right now, so that's good. Oh, you need power. Oopsie. Back that up. And this keeps breaking. Deconstruct it. Oh, jeez. I forgot to close the doors. Looks like we got some more junk we can place out, too. Forgot all about that. I guess we could place these. So if we had 2 for a gantry on this side, I'll just connect these together and we'll just position the rocket where we have to get by. That'll be fine. Actually, I don't need these. We can just dig that out. It'll get there. Check our repairs here. You can be repaired faster, and you as well. We lost power in the base. I have them both set to frac, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. Yeah, we definitely need to try and store some power at night, if we can. Because this stuff's just losing power. 2, 3, 10. I know we have at least 2 things we could place out. Dang. Meteors are making a mess. We have 6 living shovels. And a few eggs here. At least 3 eggs, it looks like. Oh, we have a ventilator recharge. I didn't notice that. We have 4 eggs. Oh, there's 1 over there. There's a couple over here. Let's bring those eggs into this one anyway, and we just won't load them. Eggs, critter eggs. There we go. Shovel. I don't know if that's a real egg or not. It might not be. Must not be. Oh boy. We've got a mess up in here. Definitely need more power. Well, I actually just thought of something else. We do have more power. We've gotten close to tapping, I think, a few times, and we never have done it. This hydrogen vent. So let's go deal with that. Let's build a box around it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high, probably. Go out 1, 2, 3. Yeah, right about there. Not you guys, though. That should be a door. Build a pump. Gas pump up here. No, we can't. Dig across this. There. Down. Dig that out. Now go up and down. There we go. Let's not dig those plants. We'll just dig the tiles. Yeah, I'm not surprised. We didn't have any power. Doggone it. That built out of steel? Yeah. So even steel can take damage eventually because this Regulus like 300 degrees. So we're gonna have to deconstruct both of these guys and rebuild them once we get there. And that didn't work again for the same reason. We didn't have enough power. So we have to just build this power station right out here. Hydrogen generators. How many of these can I place? That's the question. I think about 6. They are 4 by 4. That's 16. We can only have 96, I think, for a room. So that would be 8 if we didn't have any other space. I think it's 6. We start here. Can't put that one there yet or there yet. Gosh. Diggy diggy hole. Yeah. I could just make those out of steel and not have to worry about it. At this point, that might be fine. I still haven't dug this out yet. Okay, good. Oh, nope. What are you doing, Lana? You're just doing repair errands? Let's not even bother repairing these. Just overheat again anyway. Unfortunately, I sent my best digger into space. That was a bummer. Oh well, you guys keep eating. Did we pick up those eggs? We did not. Oh, because I didn't allow manual use either. Yeah, we're kind of lowish on steel, but we can always make more. We'll just make that out of steel. Not to worry about it. Oops. Not what I wanted. There we go. You know, to get power over here. Start running that line. Let's use the heavy conductive watt bridges. And we'll put it in here and here. And embiggen that a little bit. But not that. Actually, I should have put this ladder over here. Well, somebody come and dig this ladder out then. Why are you idle? Oh, that's why. There. Happy? But yeah, I should actually put this ladder elsewhere. Well, we kind of need it right now. I should put the ladder on this side, because I can use it to run the power line. Also. No. Hate it when that happens. I don't want them coming up here and getting trapped. They shouldn't, but meteors might break up the regolith enough that they could. Yep. They always will drop whatever amount of meat they drop when they die, no matter how they die. So when these shovelvols die of old age, they will just drop. They will drop the meat that I think is 1,600 kilograms. Whatever it is, it's a ridiculous amount, like more than their actual mass. No, it's 16. Sorry, it's 16,000 calories worth of meat. I'm using the wrong units here. They'll drop 16,000 calories worth of meat when they die. Dang, power issues. Yeah, we definitely need to get this fixed, or this finished over here. Why are you not running? As if on call, on cue, he arrives. We could start collecting this natural gas, but it won't really last that long. Oxygen up at the top. I don't think the telescope's used for anything else, so we can probably just destroy it. Alright, well at least we have some power coming in now. Not full blast yet, but it'll be there soon. Somebody to dig this stuff out. That's overheating. Yeah, it's overheating. Wow. Looks like this is going to run out again very soon. Move it. Actually, it already has. Although we could take these out and it can help with these ones below quite a bit. How far can you reach? Keep going with the deconstruction, you can reach quite far. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just put them both like stacked on top of each other over this way. How far can one of these reach? We go like there? No. Right where this one is. Okay. Then we can get rid of this one. I'm going to deconstruct the telescope. Not going to rebuild the area just yet, but I'll deconstruct the telescope. Why? Oh, that's why, because I built this wrong. I forgot the shield there. Alright, well. Deconstruct those again. Alright, we need to get this cleaned up in 2 cycles. Okay. So let's just say that we have a hydrogen generator right here. This one would go right here. Thank you, autosave. Yeah, whoops. And then we put a ladder in right here. Then a wall goes here. And then... these don't leak anything, right? They just... yeah, so we can just do regular floor here then. I know you're overheating. Do that. And then also do priority 9 on this construction. That's a big old mess right there. Oh yeah, we had a couple things to place. We can place those. Scroll, 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 scroll. Wristwatch. Oh, we had 3 things at least to place. Robot arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. You know, invalid construction location. Quit your whining. Hey, General Pedro, thanks for the raid. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Okay, we collected those eggs. I don't know where they went, but we collected them. Oh boy. Welcome everyone. We're playing Oxygen Not Included. I've been working on this base for a while now. We're probably... I don't know how many streams this is. 30-something streams, I think, in. And we've launched many, many rockets. And we have much more to do yet. So the thing we've worked on tonight, other than stuff breaking, is a shovel farm. We have 5 shovels already captured here, and we have eggs to capture more. And we're trying to just get them to kind of collect some more meat from them. We're going to move these over again. We have quite a bit more regolith left. Yeah. We'll wait on that for a little while. Oh, we can't look at the star map without the telescope being there. That's what the telescope's for. We don't need it, but we need it. Dang it. Alright. Need to clear this though, because I know those rockets are coming back soon. And building the telescope is not there. It's in stations, I think. Yep, there it is. Make that back out of steel. We don't have enough steel made because we used it. Okay. Lime. Lime is the bane of my existence in this map. Dig down there and get that. I might have to make the telescope out of something else. Gold amalgam. Come on, you guys, build or dig. So I saw you were drawing, oh, you just left. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I saw General Pedro was drawing, or coloring in Catherine's, artwork today. I'll have to go back and take a look at that. Yeah, it's probably about crash the doors time for the rockets, but that's okay. Awesome. .6. Nice. We made it in time. That will probably overheat eventually, but we'll deal with it when it happens. Dig, dig, dig. Diggy, diggy hole. Okay. Okay, these guys got rebuilt. They're taken care of nicely. Back you go here. Eat. Eat the regolith. Eat. Oh, and these are breaking. We should probably make some thermium. We'll need it eventually anyways, so we should probably make it. Just takes niobium and tungsten, so we can make like, I don't know, 20 of it? No, 10 of it. Oh, we have the tungsten made for right now. Okay, that got all dug out. That's getting built. Good. Still need to dig over here, but it's less priority. And I think it's about time to open up the rocket bay doors. It is. Hopefully we don't get another meteor attack. Here we are. Oh, that's only 4x3. Okay, good. I miscounted. But I think when these rockets come in, that'll probably be the end of the stream. Phasian, did you have plans to stream this afternoon? Or were you going to wait till later? Or anyone else for that matter? Okay, cool. Yeah, it'll be a couple minutes yet, so by the time you get started and you get somewhat through your countdown, I'll be ready to close down shop here. We're collecting all the way to there. That's Mafic. That's Regolith. I think I should separate the Mafic rock out. Maybe I'll just put it on top of this. Oh, look, here comes one rocket. Okay. Engines off. They are conveyor belts. The only thing we need is trains. I mean, we do have steam engines, but the only thing we need is trains. So yes, these are conveyor belts. What I'm doing here is, for a long time, I've been storing regolith in these storage bins. And now I'm picking it up out of here and running it on conveyor belts into here because these guys like to eat regolith. So about 3 conveyor belts full is enough to feed about 10 shovels indefinitely. They're conveyor belts. Don't tell Catherine they're rails, they're belts. So, yeah, the closest we have to trains is either the steam rocket engine or the steam turbine for power. Hey, Mograph, raid from Pedro. Or why are you a character here? Because you chatted a while. whichever way you mean. Because you are here. You chatted a while on my streams previously, so you got added as a character, and you haven't died yet, so that's good. We don't need you though to use the telescope. We're good without using it. All right, so of course there's a meteor shower incoming. We have 0.2 cycles to get this rocket landed before we take a bunch of damage. Making enough. I don't have that much insulation made yet. Nope. Where is it at? Can we make a bunch more yet? ISR resin, not a whole lot. Just a few. I'll go and put 10 more in the queue, though. Yeah, me neither. But, yeah. Oh, I should have built this lower. This needs to be lower. I messed this up. We'll have to dig it down lower anyway. Yeah, I'm not much into dying either. I'm not much into letting any of my characters die, so you're lucky there for me, or with me. I think maybe I'll just dig it all the way down to where it should just about go. Oh, here's the other rocket, so we can close the doors fast before too many meteors come in. And this will be the end of the stream here. So we're gonna raid Phasian, who's playing Forager. And yeah, that's gonna make a mess for a while, but that's okay. Some more stuff to place. Egg-shaped rock. So, of course, we have a lot more work to do. Oh no. Run. Run, Phasian, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Okay. And we'll resume that work next week. Tomorrow will most likely be co-op stream, probably of Unrailed again. I haven't checked, but I'm guessing or assuming that Lana and Phasian are in again on that. Alright, come on, Evelyn. You're getting a sunburn. Come on, let's rescue you and then we'll get out of here. Run, 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 run. I know. Sunburns hurt, and then you get hit by meteors. Run, run, run. There we go. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, it's been a lot of work. I mean, this is episode, I think this is 33. Stream 33. So it's been a little while. And I still have a lot more to do because we haven't even started building the hydrogen and liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen yet. So, I probably have at least a dozen more streams, I would say, before we can even call it anywhere close to done. I would like to get to the last object out here, the temporal tear, which is sort of the win condition. Getting one duplicate here means they escape the terror that is this place we're at, and they're free from, me. So we'll have to cast lots and see who gets to escape. But that's the plan: is to get there and get one to escape, and that'll be the beginning, at least, of the end, if not the last stream. It depends on kind of where we're at and how long we go. But that's going to be it for now, at least. So let's raid Phasian. I need to refresh my Twitch. Yep. All right. So thanks everyone for coming. Thanks Pedro for the raid. Yeah, that's a cool space drink. Yes. Well, we'll get there pretty soon. Probably the next couple of cycles we'll be making, next couple of streams, we'll start making liquid oxygen and then liquid hydrogen later. All right, so we're going to raid Phasian. He's playing Forager. He's got a good chunk of a start within a couple of streams. I think he was probably around level 30 last night when I logged off. And so stick around and watch that. If you're new to the channel, come here from Pedro's raid or other sources, and you like my content, please follow if you're willing. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are support options below the stream viewer and also at the subs and support commands. And you can join me on my Discord, or if you are one of Catherine's viewers, you can definitely join me or come to Catherine's Discord and chat with me there. Thanks for the follow, Mograph. And otherwise, we'll see you next time, which will be tomorrow for Co-op Sunday. Bye, everyone.